Hello everybody, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be talking about slimes, and there will be spoilers, so I will let you guys know when that happens for favorite items for the slimes itself. So if you guys want to figure it out, I will let you guys do that yourself, but I will give you an option for a hint if you would like that. Both spoilers will happen, so I'll let you know when those things come out. Alrighty, getting started, you're going to want to find a slime spawner. In the world, there's normally like a little rock formation, or it could be like a little thing, and they drop these little guys, the pink slimy slimes. And you'll know when they're hungry when the bars are completely empty. Like you can see there's 10 orbs right now. It's currently at 6 pink, so he's not going to be hungry until it's at 5. But this guy over here, he is hungry. And what happens is when you drop him a flower that you find randomly, you get a plorp. And with this plorp, it's worth 128. Now then, starting out, you'll want to make then a selling bin, which is a trap door and a chest. And what you'll do is you just put that in there, and at 6 a.m., you could see at the top left, it's currently saying it's 1:20 p.m. Once it's at 6 a.m., you're going to get that money. But what you're going to do is, if you don't want to go and farm out flowers constantly, you can make the market, which is a chest and 4 zinc around, which you should be able to get after you sold your plorp. And you come over here and you'll just type in azalea, and I just buy the flowering azalea. These are probably going to work, but flowerings are what I use. And you just go and buy a bunch of them. And now 2 zinc, that seems like a lot, right? That's like 16 coins. But you're getting 128 right here. So it is worth the investment to do this unless you don't mind, hunting for flowers. And now that we got our plorp though, you can go to your inventory, press the quests or the tilde key to open it up, come to the side and go to advanced farming, and on the bottom is the slime stuff. If you go here, you'll get a slime block for the plorp, and basically gives you a rundown saying that when you feed them, they won't despawn anymore and they'll be considered tamed. And they may cause a little bit of chaos if you don't feed them. But now that we got those things down, you want to make a loom. The loom is 2 planks and 2 strings. And what this guy does is he sells us the slime vac and the slime incubator, both 2 netherites and then 4 netherite coins. And how they work is if you have like a slime heart or something that you just find randomly, you can take it and you can place it in the incubator, and I think it's like 5 minutes it will take, and then it will spawn out whatever heart you put in there. So I put a slimy slime, it will come out with a little slime eventually. Okay, next is the plort press. This is honestly the thing that you want to end up making if you make a slime farm. What it is it's a bit expensive just because the battery, like that's what's the limiting factor. But you want 2 iron ingots, 2 pistons, amethyst shards, goodness, and 2 blocks of iron. And I kind of made it automated. So you would basically put, plorp in there. It will come in here. Let me just do that real quick just so you can see it work. Place them in there. You can see they get filled up, and then once it hits 16, it starts to work. And it's honestly a really good money thing, because like check this out, right? 16 investment in, it's 2.5 or 2048. And for a heart, you double it. So once you expand your slime farm, this is going to be the next way to then essentially double it up one more time. But before you do all those, the most important thing is still the slime vac. I recommend buying this thing, and then if you go adventuring out, be sure to just grab this thing with you. Because how it works is if you find your slime guy, you're like, oh, I don't have that slime, or I want to take it home with me, right? You could just shift click and then right click, and it will suck up the slime. And then you can take it home, do whatever, and you're like, oh, I want to bring it, back into my pen, right? You just hold in your offhand. You can do it by either pressing F to just, put it in there, or just put it in your shield slot. And then with the slime vac opened, you just right click and it shoots them out. So you gotta be careful because Sometimes you can launch this guy. So keep that in mind. Also, for early game farms, like what you'll probably do is something like this. You can throw food in, like that, and they will go and feed up. So like if you had like say 10 slimes, right? You can press V on the thing and you can kind of see change to slime mode, change to item mode, change to both. You can just then shift click also, and then if you're above, you can just jump and it sucks up the items too. So that is an idea also. But after, another expensive thing, but I say expensive, it's not expensive, it's just you got to get the battery from, the random sources, but it's the plorp ribbit. And you'll need 2 iron ingots, the battery, 2 slime balls, any slime, plort, I recommend just using the slimy one just because it's the easiest and cheapest. And then 3 iron blocks. And also, how it works is if you to look at any type of plorp, like you can just grab it, press U on it, and then look over here. This is what you'll get. A slimy plorp has a chance of getting slime ball, petrified slime, or the game disc. And I'll just do this real quick, but you can see shulking makes that. Just so you guys can see them. The blaze plort might be a good one to get just for the fire quartz. This guy, the bitwise for the battery. And yeah, and this guy for the ender pearls, that'd be another good one. Dragon breath. But anyways, how it works, if you want to make it automated, but how it works is you just hold a plorp, right click it in, it'll take away your plorp, and then he'll just poop it out. Like so. And then what you could do is just put a chest or a hopper, depending on how many plorp you have, put it in there, and it'll just automatically feed them. And then if you have sophisticated storage with a magnet, you can just do it like that. Now the reason why I have the magnet and not another hopper is because some of the plorp, if you saw, whoops. If you saw, they drop a lot of items, right? 32, 32, 32. And this man kind of processes it fairly fast. So the magnet is the better option versus the hopper because the hopper would end up getting overfilled and won't deposit it as fast. And then another nifty thing, if you look also in the quests, is the corral blocks, which basically it lets you walk right through and slimes won't go through it, as well as if you put a redstone signal, mobs won't be able to go through it either. And again, what you'll need is 2 random plorps. I recommend again slimy plorps, 5 pieces of glass, 1 redstone, and a gold coin. And you can make the pain variety also, which is 6 blocks, and you'll get obviously 16 from those. And if you made this one, you get 5 blocks. Now then, you may be thinking, that's not too much money, right? Like the slimy plorps, 128. Well, an easy way is when you're hunting down, you'll find other plorps or, other slimy hearts, and you can get their plorps. And then what you can do is throw it in, and then they become a hybrid. So for instance, this guy now is a slimy one with a fleshy guy. When you hover over him, he wants now either flowers or fresh meat. So if I were to just get a flower and feed it to him, right? You can see he dropped me now both. He dropped me 1 slimy plorp and 1 rotten plorp. And right there, we just basically more than doubled our income. And now these are the cheaper varieties. Like in my server, I have a plorp that's worth 1,000. And now I have, I think, like 15 slimes in a pen. And you can feed them twice a day. And it's automated. So now I'm getting like 30,000 a day just from, my plorps, which is great money. But be careful because also if you feed them another type of plorp, for instance, you fed them a bony plorp, they will turn into a that guy. And he wants nothing to do but to just murder your slimes and then they turn into things, and then they'll just go and murder everything, even you. Now then, you may be asking yourself, what is a good way of farming them? Now you got a little sneak peek right there. I ended up figuring it out on the stream last night. But basically what it is you have a chest, a hopper, and a cork chute. Now what's happening is, let me go up here. In here, I have a bunch of flowers. Like I just, bought a bunch of the azaleas. Wow. Azaleas, goodness, words. In there, and what's happening is they're being deposited into the hopper, and then the chute is dropping it from there. Now, the only reason why I have it like that is just because in my head it works like the flowers hitting the floor for a little bit longer before the chest can magnet it up. Realistically, you probably could just deal with a chute, but I just have it like that. And in here, I have the magnets with no settings attached to it. And this one, frankly, it doesn't really do anything for me. I don't know. I just have it here as the flowering. But that is how it works, as you can see, and it's always cycling through. So it drops and then picks it up, and then whenever they do get hungry, they will go over there and have a random chance. Like you could just see it. That one just grabbed the food and a plorp went up. Let's see if this will happen for this guy. It's staying slightly too fast for him, but again, it slowly goes up. And in my server, right, we got the phantom plorps. And then you can do the same thing. So like how much I have here now, right? 32. That could be 32,000. So all we do is feed them a little ones. And now they become the phantom plorps. Now be sure you turn off your magnet if you do end up doing this. Because like that one, it just sucked it up. But now when they go eat, right, I get one pink slime and one phantom slime. So now I get per slime every day, basically what, 2,500. And if I were to feed them their favorite flower, it will drop double the plorp. So they would drop 2 phantoms and 2 slimies. There you go. You just ate a phantom. And I'm thinking the double ones are actually better than the little ones because they're probably a bigger hitbox. They can eat the flower. Now then, I'd said it again about their favorite fruit. I was told about it the other night, or yesterday actually, of the fact of them. And so I spent some time figuring all of them out. Now then, if you want tip number 1, like a hint, but you don't want to know what the favorite foods are, and you want to hear this tip, I'll say it here very soon. To figure out their favorite foods, go away if you don't want to know it. Do you see how the slimy slime says diet flowers? You could just go to your JEI, do the # or hashtag, and then just type in flower. And then there's a chance for any of these to be the thing. Now, I wouldn't assume it's any Botania because that is all like the, end game stuff. But all these other things, it is a potential chance. Potential chance. Like same thing for this guy, right? He says beds. So if I now do bed, right? I have all these beds that I can potentially make and drop to them, and they'll give me double the plorp. So if you don't want me to now spoil the actual things, you can, skip away now. Alright, this is last try. No, this is the last attempt, guys. Like, if you don't want to know those spoilers. 3, 2, 1. If you didn't skip, I'm sorry. For the slimy food, it is the blue orchid. Or orchid, whatever you want to call it. Basically, what you'll do is you place the food down, give it to them, and you can see the notes. The notes means that was their favorite food. Now, if it was hungry, it would have dropped double. Let me just go over here to where they are numerous. Let's turn turn that off, I guess. That does nothing. Okay. I just want to see if I can get a slime by himself. Blue orchid. Okay, here you go. He's hungry. So if I throw it, he plays it, and he dropped 2 plorps. And that works again with the other guys. You can still feed the hybrids their flowers, and they'll drop 2 of the more expensive plorps. Alrighty, I'm going to go a bit faster now. For the dusty slime, their favorite food is the bonefish. For the webby, their favorite food is garlic. For the bony, it is large sheep milk. For the puddle, it is the sneer snorp. For the boom cat, it is a cooked duck. For the all-seeing, it is a golden carrot. For the bitwise, it is a fire opal, which you get from the omni geode or the magma geode. Probably other things too. The blazing, the cooked turkey. Luminous, it's a block of quartz. For the weeping, it's a banana. For the prisma, it is the ulti, I think. Ulti. For the sweet one, it is an orange. For the shulking, it is the chorus flower. For the ender, it is an amethyst shard. For the phantom, it is a purple bed. For the orby, it is a skeleton. Now this is different, right? Now they eat mobs. So you'll need to figure out how to either get skeletons or place them in like the caves where skeletons are, and do the whole mob spawning thing. For the minty, I wrote a little note, end only probably, because it's pretty hard to get endermen in general. But you would think when the endermen are being attacked, they'll teleport, but I made this little block here. And I guess the minties are not here, but you have to take my word for it. Basically, when the minties spawn, they basically kill the enderman, and the enderman just takes it. Let's see, phantom was that, or be minty. We're on that. The enderman is their favorite food. For the gold, it is the bell pepper preserves. And that would be all the slimes. Now remember, you feed their favorite foods and they'll give you double the money. Double the money. Or you can just stick with just, feeding a hybrid plorp or feeding a plorp to the slimy. Just feeding them azaleas. And there's that. Or if you have a way of just getting numerous amounts of these, much easier than it is to getting the blue orchid. Because you can always make hybrids, right? Like for instance, the golden plorp is worth 2k, and the phantom plorp is worth 1k, right? So you can you feed it its favorite food, you'll get 4k now, on top of 2k from the phantom. So now you'll get 6k from one slime, and you can feed it twice a day, so that'd be 12k from one slime. So little things like that you'll have to think about. Okay guys, so this is what the world will look like if you were to find a slime spawn out in the open. And I would recommend you make a home kind of nearby to it, honestly. Like wherever you want. And I would put a 2-high wall around with some doors, just because they do like to go to one-sided doors or whatnot. So you just have multiple ways of getting out. And again, if you get to the point, just start buying the azaleas, which with some zinc, you do that. And then what you can do at the beginning is just stand on the wall, throw them down, and if they're hungry, they'll come and eat, and you'll get the plorp. And then eventually a second set will spawn, and then a third, and numerous will come. And then once they get to the point where they're going to be furious at you, you can either decide to call them by just, killing them all, or you start getting, the slime thing, where same thing, right? You'll come over here, drop the food, and then instead of coming in there, whenever you get too many, right, you can just press V to change it to just item mode. And then whenever they eat it all, you can just bring it to you, just like so. You have to just crouch and suck it up. And this is what, I would say for the early thing would be. And then again, whenever you get one random plorp, say you get that fleshy plorp, not fleshy plorp, the rotten plorp, or the bony plorp, right? Whenever he would grab it, he would turn into a bony plorp. Now, whenever that happens, just feed his plorp to the other slimes. And another tip, if you want to do that even better, is when they're still hungry, just feed them the plorp. Let me see if I could just quickly do that for you guys. We'll get a slime spawner. We'll get a slimy egg. This is how you set up a spawner thing if you did want to do it in creative for whatever reason. Place it down, right click the egg, and then you get them. But say you got one bony plorp, right? And you want it for every single buddy instead of waiting. What you can do is this. You target one of them, give him the bony plorp, and then you only want him to get fed, right? So whenever he goes by himself, you throw the food on him, and then there you saw it. Or no, did he get? No. But no, he ate it. Perfect. So one of them already ate it, which it works. And now you'd go to the one who's hungry, and you'd feed that guy. And then same thing. You'd take that bony plorp, and then you'd feed it to him. And that way, you can now get 3 bony plorps from all of them. And now when you feed them again, you'll get both your bony plorp and the other thing. And I would recommend always saving 1 plorp, right? That way, if you ever need to restart, you can, restart. Because I do anticipating a bunch of healing them in the future. But here you go, guys. This is my live world where I'm playing this live. I got all these guys down here, a bunch of phantom slimes. And right here you can just see, oh, that stuff was not supposed to go in there. Take that out. But you can see right here, 46k worth of phantom plorps. And you can see it, right? It's just feeding them. Dropped it. Now we're at 47k. And this is in my chunk. That is force loaded. So I can go off adventuring. I can do whatever I want. Since I backlogged this with full of azaleas, and my slimes are down here, remember that. They have to be in the corner. Flowers are in front of it because if you put one of them, right, it'll just keep dropping the slime. So make sure they're in the corner. And you could always just do the memory slot also, if you wanted to. Where you turn a memory and then just left click, like so. And then you can just do the same also with the azaleas. So that way they will never go, the slime will always go down here and not up there. But guys, again, slimes are genuinely probably one of the best ways of passively making money. I made my cactus farm over there, but it makes nowhere in comparison to this. Look at this, 49,000 now. I could just take all of this, go and sell it. Same thing, by the way. Make sure you always save 1 for the just in case factor. you just come to your selling bin, put them all in there, go to sleep. And look at that, 48K. 48K. Now, it did say something about happiness at when there's more than 7, they may get less happy. But I think currently I have about 16 of them in my chunk. Like if you press F9 twice, you can see the border around it. There's about, was there 16? Unless maybe some died or gone away. But they are all pretty neutral, so maybe that's a good guideline. Just 1 block per thing. Or not 1 block per thing. 16 slime per chunk, potentially. So then you can make your next farm up top and up top and up top. But then you have to figure out the barrel situation, or just have them, more staggered past 5 blocks, because that is the radius of that. So maybe, you do a farm layer and then another thing and another and another. Things to think about. But that is all. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. Be in the comments. Be sure to write some tips. I know I'm not perfect. I know I don't have everything exactly right. I do make mistakes. But thank you again for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I think I'm going to do the fishing video. But yeah, stay tuned for that.